Oh,
Thanks,
man,
John.
I thought he left for a moment. I was like, I'm not ready to take over that quick.
You certainly don't want to hear this presentation from me. Jacob is a young, dynamic young man, and I was fortunate enough to be his scoutmaster coming up through the ranks, and Jacob became an Eagle Scout in 2009, and he drifted in and out of the troop, popping in here and there, and he's always been an inspiration to our boys. And this year he came back as my assistant scoutmaster, and he's taken over the outings coordinator job in the troop, and he's just doing a fantastic job. I've been fortunate enough to have Jacob and 3 other young men join my troop as young adult leaders, all between the ages of 21 and 23. And I can't tell you what relief this is for me and how much easier it makes my job. Jacob is a terrific young man, and a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, I started a Facebook page for our troop, and it was kind of a public thing, and we never used any last names, but we just wanted to get it out to the community. Since Jacob came on, I'll let him tell you what he's done with that and some other things, and it's really become a valuable communication tool for us as a troop with the young leaders and the young scouts. So without further ado, I give you Jacob Bach.
Thank you. I better not mess this up now. I had a really great introduction. Hey, so I'm Jacob Bach. Really quick about me, other than what he said. For a living, I work at Comedy Sports Milwaukee, if any of you guys have been to Comedy Sports before. And I help out with the marketing campaigns that we have there. And then I also work at REI, which has the most incredible social media presence. Has everybody heard of #OptOutside yet? We have off on Black Friday, and we're getting paid a full day's salary. Wow. Yeah, good. We're all shaking our heads, yes. That is the type of outreach that we need within scouting. By a quick show of hands, how many of you guys use social media in here? That includes Facebook.
Can we raise it halfway?
You can raise it halfway, sure. That includes Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Snapchat, email. And does everybody use email here? There we go, good. We're socially mediating right there. We're going to touch on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, and texting. So those 5 things. The first one that I'll talk about is texting because it's nice and simple. Texting is, people don't talk on phones anymore, in case you guys haven't noticed. People don't like to talk on phones, it makes them uncomfortable. Yeah.
Young people
don't like to talk on phones, right. And it's faster for young people to just get one sentence out, because that's the world that we have all grown up in. It's very fast-paced and short, and it gets to the point. To keep texting safe, my rule of thumb is always 2 leadership deep in every text. So if a boy is texting an adult, you should always have 2 adults that are in on that text. We have a group text, right? So that's more than 2 people. We have a group text with all the boys that have cell phones, and then there's 3 leaders that are a part of that group text. As everybody knows, we just talked about youth protection before. It's a pretty big thing in scouting, and we have to remember that through everything digitally too, we have to make sure that it's kept safe and it's kept open and it's kept visible to everybody. So just remember that as we're going through this. Email is really great I'm getting to like the quick things first. Email's really great. We've all used it for a number of years now. It's a good way to get a lot of information out there in one big blast. I'm sure as many people know, we want to trim the fat off of every email though. There's a lot of things that we want to provide in an email, all these kind of like extra thoughts. People stop reading generally after the first paragraph. It becomes kind of a cliff notes section at that point. So remember that when you're composing emails. Let's be honest here, who has trouble communicating with parents in the troop? like getting communication done fast. Yeah. As the outings coordinator, one thing that I do is that I feel like we run a little bit differently, only because we have a very small troop. We also have a lot of older boys compared to younger boys, which means that they're in high school, which means that they have a lot more things going on than what they did when they were in 8th grade and younger. So one thing that I like to do is book my campouts 1 to 2 months in advance. I don't do anything more than that, just because boys don't know their schedule, and there's a really fast dropout rate, and for a smaller troop, we can't go on as many campouts if we don't have a general consensus. So email is really great for that, kind of feeling out dates. If anybody's used SurveyMonkey before, anybody in here use SurveyMonkey?
Oh, yeah.
Good. That's a really, really great website to use when you're trying to figure out dates. That's surveymonkey.com. All they do, go on it, you put the month's dates up, you click on it, it shows you which one works best. Email, great. Twitter, don't bother. There's no use for one troop to have Twitter. For council to have Twitter, yes. For River even, as a district, we could, but council's really the only one. Yeah, it's iffy. Council's really the only one that should have a Twitter, just because that's going to be a larger outreach. Twitter is there to be vague. Twitter is there to make like one joke or one little bit of information and then just get out. That's all Twitter is. For us, social media is trying to communicate with our boys in a more efficient way. Because Boy Scouting, in case we all haven't noticed, we have to catch up with times a little bit more. Boy Scouting has to move in the same way that the rest of the world is going. And one of those things is, I'm sure everybody has trouble with this, cell phones in camp, boys always wanting to text, boys always wanting to be on social media. There's a way that we're able to incorporate that to make it better for ourselves, right? So the one thing that people love, especially young people, getting all the likes on photos. There's nothing better than doing something adventurous and taking a photo of it and posting it on social media. We should be encouraging that because it's a scouting outreach. It shows that these boys are proud to be in scouting. They're not, if it's becoming a distraction, if they're only on their phone, then we know to talk to them, right? It's like, hey, you've only been on your phone, you've said 3 words the entire time, let's back off. But if they want to take a photo and post it right away, that's doing nothing but good for the Boy Scouts. Because it's showing that young people are still interested in joining, and who knows, if they're in high school and there's somebody that is in their class that hasn't necessarily been a part of scouting ever, or maybe they dropped out, but they see that somebody's having fun and somebody's proud to be in scouting, that's great. That's exactly what we want, because we want our numbers to go up in troops, and we want, I mean, this is all for the boys. The more boys we can get in scouting, the better our program is going to be. So remember that.
So when you say post, you're talking Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook, Instagram, anything.
Okay.
Anywhere that they post it is good.
Are there safety guidelines we have to worry about? No last names, that sort of thing?
We'll get to that in
Okay,
a
good
moment
enough.
when we come to our pages.
Okay.
Right now, this is theirs. Is my water over there? No. Further.